All right, we're live. Welcome to episode 10 of the Pro Go Baduk Weiqi podcast. Again, you have Xiao Dai and
Gaza.
Gaza. Yeah. I think people's eardrum might have bursted at this point. So let's look at let's get into it. Let's look at the big one this week, which was the 77 Honinbo Game 4.
Yeah, Game 4.
That was. I mean, it's a bit of a surprise that Honinbo finished at 4-0, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, Ichiriki Rio had a couple of months previously had won the Kisei off of Iyama.
Yeah.
So people were anticipating this matchup, and expecting another sort of close fight. And Game 1 sort of was like the perfect start to this match. One of the best games of the year.
Yeah.
But after that, it sort of just fizzled out. Ichiriki made a really big mistake in a winning position in Game 2.
Yeah.
And yeah, Games 3 and 4, he really didn't put up, enough of a fight.
Yeah. Wow. So we're looking at the picture of the basically final. I think this is the picture showing after Ichiriki had resigned in Game 4.
Yeah, they're going over some key points of the game.
Yeah, and the person in the middle is of significance in the Honinbo system as well.
Yes, so the person in the middle is of course Jihyun.
Yeah.
Who still holds the record at the moment for most titles won by a Japanese player.
Yep.
Domestic and international combined, that is.
Yep.
And he also was the first person to win 10 consecutive Honinbo titles.
Yes.
So last year when Iyama beat Shibano Torimaru,
yep.
He equaled Jihyun's streak of 10 consecutive Honinbo titles.
Yep.
So I think it was notable that Jihyun was the witness for this game, the potential game in which Iyama would set a new record.
Yep.
And that was also good because I really do like Jihyun as a commentator. He seems very animated.
Yep.
It's strange for me to say that because I don't understand Japanese at all. But
yep.
he seems quite a unique personality in the Go world.
Yeah.
And he's sort of a legend. He's a cult figure.
Yeah.
And it was good that he was there to witness sort of his record being broken. I'm sure he doesn't mind his record being broken.
Well, I haven't translated his interview, but this is what he said in the interview, right? As best I can to do my best translation on the fly. He said that before the game, he doesn't like the idea of Yama overtaking him, right? So he wanted Yama to lose this series, okay?
Right.
Probably half jokingly, But then now that Yama has overtaken him, he doesn't like just being in the second spot, just 10 consecutive wins versus 11. He wants Yama to, overtake him by a far mile. He wants Yama to make it 20 out of, consecutive wins. So that's what he said.
Right.
Yeah. And it's funny that you mentioned Jihyun is an animated commentator. I do notice that when he commentates with another player, like sometimes I've seen him commentate a game, and there was maybe a younger female player, I believe Yasuda Nikiti or something.
Minatsu Yasuda?
Yeah. No. I think Yasuda something. I can't remember her full name. And she, I think it might be Yasuda Akika. I think something like that.
Right.
And she was laughing her head off. She's giggling all the way. So maybe Jihyun was being really funny. So I don't know. Maybe yeah. So this is what happened. And of course there's a recap of this game. on Pro Weiqi as well. So for people who want to check it out, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'll try and make sure to put a link
yeah,
there.
yeah. Okay, so let's go over some of the picks. So this is Yuta, of course, is showing 11 with his hand gestures. This seems to be some kind of one of those.
Are the other players the people that he's beaten in the 11 matches?
Maybe, or they might be just the players in the Honinbo League.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, might be. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure one of them have never challenged before Honinbo.
Okay.
Yeah, so it might be just a Honinbo.
Oh yeah,
League.
no, there's. I think I see Su Xiaowan.
Yeah, that's the third one. Yep.
Yeah, the third one. I don't think he's challenged the Honinbo.
Yeah, so this is Shibano Toramaru here. That's Ichiriki. That's Hanenake. That's Yu Zhengqi. That's Sada Asushi. Yep. And yep. So that's a nice one. If I'll get if I can get my hands on it. This is people commentating. Choshi-kun, of course, called the witness. And Ichiki looks relatively happy still. It's fine. I think that's the seal move that they're submitting for the first day. And there's some comics here. Oh yes, that says he won from 67th to 676. Yeah, so I think I just recall them two commentating, and she was giggling all the way.
Yeah, that's Yasuda Akiko.
Akiko, yep.
Akika, sorry.
Akika or Kiko, one of them. Don't know what this is. It's funny how they're all wearing masks, but they're in the same room anyway. That's what they had for dinner. Okay. Yeah, that's when they played one of the games in the rugby stadium.
Yep, that was game 2.
Yeah, it was game 2. There's some more pics here. I don't know what this one is. Maybe just some recording from the old one. That's the Kifu. Two lady players commentating, showing off the food.
Is that Ran Omori?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Now they sometimes when they live stream this thing, they always showcase what they got for lunch as well. So
they love doing that.
Yeah, it seems to be like a cultural thing. Yeah, they always take a picture of the food for some reason. Yeah, I think we've talked about that before. It's just that something they do, and they still record the key food.
Her name is Omori Ran, not Ran Omori. I always get the names around the wrong way.
Right. Yes. Then that's the kifu, and this is the slip, for which they fill in their sealed move. Yep. So that's it. Yeah. So there's some pics there, and yeah, that's it. Now, just off to the side of things, while we're talking about Honinbo, there is a hit Chinese TV show now. It's very popular right now. It's called Dream of Splendor, and in the game they actually have the game of Weiqi being featured, but apparently the game being shown is actually the castle game from the 1670 Japan. So that was quite interesting that they showed that during the show, this game. And so they actually put in some effort into the production of this, because a lot of Chinese TV series were heavily criticized for not doing their homework. They would just put stones on random spots and said this is a Go game. Sometimes they would even have put the stones inside the square, not on the intersections.
So that's blasphemy.
Yeah, those things are heavily criticized. So now the Chinese TV industry have professionalized a little bit. I think it seems like the production value have definitely gone up from what I've noticed, what I've watched. And this is I believe a Japanese movie called Tenchi, and it features I believe Honinbo Dosaku, in one of the castle games. So that must be Honinbo, because I believe Honinbo was a monk.
Honinbo would have played white for sure.
Right. Yes, because back then there's no Komi. Yeah. All right, so that's a bit of a sidetrack, and we are on to the next topic. Oh
So
yeah.
we're not gonna go over any moves of the game in the podcast.
I think okay. Actually, maybe because this is game 4, maybe we should. So actually, I just realized I forgot to post the Kifu of the games, and given I don't know how to type Japanese, I think I just have to try and find it. It's a Honinbo, right? So, and the day on which it was
There it
played.
is. There it is. It's the no. Go back to the top.
Yeah.
It's the one with the little
Ah,
camera.
yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, game 4. What do you remember about game 4?
So I remember something about the first day there was a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
Um, and it was as usual with most of these 2-day games. It was fairly even, or both sides playable at the end of the first day.
Yeah.
Where was the first bit of fighting? So it was quite early, like move already by move 40. Oh, where's the Kifu gone?
The Kifu is here. I decided to open it up in
In Sabaki.
Sabaki. So yep. Yeah. So yeah. Now, the number one thing is that this got very. I thought it got really fighty after this move. So
This first cut. Yeah.
So this, I think white is Yuta, black is Ichiriki. Actually, you know what surprised me was that, black has so many stones here, but actually this black group is actually not as strong as we think. We'll see later on. Like, so this is after Ichiriki played here. That's just, it's gonna be a fighting game. I do remember at this point Iyama just pondering for a while before he played. Yeah, I mean, but actually Ichiriki, this move is also the AI recommendation. So yeah, it's very very. So it's, I guess Iyama is thinking whether he can push through like this, and I guess the answer he gave was that yes, he wants to do that. I actually did go over this with Katako, and it's quite funny what Katako recommends. So he recommends that after I push through, Katako recommends white play here to let black play here, and then white play here, or something like that, which is very strange if you think about it. Like,
Yeah.
this is the same as if Ichiriki played here to force white to protect and jump. If Ichiriki had played like this, there's no way white would push here to reduce his liberties. White can just play first, and then jump out or something,
Right.
Whatever. So it's really interesting that AI suggested that. But anyway, I guess once you're Atari, it feels natural to just come through instead of going back. So I really don't know what AI is thinking, but I hope to see some really strong player give commentaries on this. But otherwise, I'm not really comprehending that move. But anyway, Iyama decides to push through. So yeah, you can see here, this is just, there's no way of getting out of this. There would just be a fight, massive fight. Keep fighting. Yeah, so, and yeah, so it's quite interesting because
Ichiriki obviously wasn't afraid of this.
no, I think Ichiriki wanted. I think that's. It feels like that's his strategy, because if you recall, last time when Shibano challenged Yama, Shibano won a few of these games just by pure fighting with.
Yes. I think
Yama.
all 3 of his wins, Iyama just got completely outread. Like,
Yeah.
all 3 times that Iyama lost, a huge group died, and it wasn't even that deep into the game.
Yeah. So maybe Ichiki is going for the same kind of strategy here, just to fight it out with Yama. So that's just a theory. Obviously, I haven't read the interview to see what he was thinking, but yeah, that could be what he was thinking. And basically AI recommends just pushing one more and connecting. Yeah, just playing like this. So yeah, so AI kind of recommends that Ichiriki should make his black group stronger, which is kind of surprising because there's so many black stone. But actually, this black group is actually not that strong. We'll see later on. So that's the way the AI recommends to play. Just create a weak group here, and black can just kind of attack this. I think that's the idea by AI, just to play like this. But no, that didn't happen. And after this, I just didn't feel like I didn't like Ichiriki's position because the groups here, the liberties are so tight, like it just, and there's still a cut here. So it's very, even though Ichiriki got an attacking target, it doesn't feel very strong, this group, and this group doesn't feel very strong. But anyway, it decides to cut, and Iyama just played really well here, he even found time to run out with these stones, even though this group is like surrounded by black, and he even found time to push and cut. That's just crazy. And they keep fighting. It gets interesting here. Look, I believe this is the after this, White submitted a sealed move. So this is the last move in the first day, and White submitted a sealed move at this point. And you know how I keep saying that this black group is not very strong? It happened. So after Yama Hanade here, it's you can see this black group is actually not even alive. So Ichiriki just try to make and just try to jump out. Still, this black group is not alive.
Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy.
I think it's at best well, it ended up being a co.
Yeah. Well, black needs one more move to stay alive. Either connect under or just play here. S4. Yeah. So White played here, and Ichiriki decides to activate this. Well, if you don't activate it, this cut is just useless. So that's that. And I believe Yama just had incredible reading here. He read through the whole thing, and he played this move at this point. Typically, people don't play this kind of move right away. They kind of save as a code threat or whatever, but he's read through it. He needs this move right now to set up a devastating code. So he played it right now. Ichiriki has no choice, basically. He has to take. And he does this. Cut. Tari. Notice that White can jump out at any time as a probe. So Black has a choice to kill this one or capture this one. So that will become important later on. So, no eyes. And
one eye.
One eye. Well, one eye. You come here. I think Yama have read through all of this. Yeah. So, there's no other way for Black to play apart from this. And cut is the only way. Cut, all of this, none of this works. That's the only way. Comes out, Atari, sets up a code right away. Oh my god. So, of course, to capture Black, White needs 2 moves. So at this point, actually, surprisingly, the engine says that both sides are fairly even. And because I think the idea is that White will take 2 moves to capture these ones anyway, so Black should just play outside. At this point, maybe try to play over here to put pressure on the corner and this group. So that's still playable, but Ichiriki played here, so which activates, force White to start the code, and he used this as a code threat and took. And by this time, Ichiriki is very behind. And I think the reason why is because now imagine if Ichiriki, instead of Atari here, just, maybe Ichiriki played here or something. And if for White to start the code, if White starts the code now, and Black says, I have no code threat, I'm going to take, and White takes, would you at this point as Black take this stone?
No,
never, exactly. Right? Exactly. So, and this is a perfectly okay position for Black. And the only difference here is that Black took this stone, which is extremely slow, but White gave Black like a free move. But obviously, this is very slow, and this is exactly how the position looks like after the whole sequence. I just played the moves out of sequence, and you can see how this move is just extremely slow, just terrible. And I think this is where Ichiriki fell behind. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I wanna just go into
yeah,
um yeah. So there was another point around about move 130.
130. Yeah,
Yeah. So this is actually yeah. This was an interesting moment of the match, the game for me. So here, AI recommends that black play at the 3-3 point at C3.
yeah, like this.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if white, if that white group in the bottom left can be killed, but I think like basically black needs to try. I don't know,
Yeah.
but Ichiriki didn't do that.
Right.
Ichiriki played there, and um, the AI suggests that white can just ignore it,
Right.
just ignore that threat and play b6.
Bees. I'll try to live like this.
Yeah,
Something like that.
and AI says that's like completely white's now sort of completely winning. Like,
Right. So this
um,
this kind of cut doesn't. This kind of cut. Well.
like it's just not big enough that move by black. And I think the AI is basically saying that move by black at L17 is just it's just not big enough. Wait, what if instead of playing M16 you play N16 first?
Ends like that.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Tari.
Oh, that's an Atari.
Tari.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think the AI is saying that that doesn't matter.
Yeah. So I'm not
Um,
sure how to cut. Obviously, this
because
cut doesn't look that good for black. Yeah. So I'm not
yeah,
sure.
that cut doesn't look good for white. But AI is saying it doesn't matter if the group in the bottom left lives,
Winning. Yeah.
white's fine.
Yeah.
White's home and hosed.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, man, if Iyama plays that, that's going to be the most insane
Yeah.
move. And I actually thought he would play b6. I actually thought he would ignore the threat.
Yeah.
But he didn't. Um, he ended up playing. He ended up playing at the 3-3 point in the top right.
Right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow.
Which yeah, and AI says that's as long as black still has that C3 threat.
Yeah.
AI was saying black still had chances.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, really, Iyama could have finished the game off then and there, but
Yeah. He didn't do it.
obviously didn't see it well enough. But yeah, and in the end, black did end up playing at C3.
Yeah.
Like just a few moves later.
Yeah.
There.
Kill the group. Probably kill the
Yeah,
corner.
so that group dies, but yeah, the problem is white is too strong
Yeah.
on the left,
Yeah. It's
and yeah, black just doesn't have enough points anymore.
yeah. So Ichiki actually ended up setting up a code inside here, which is kind of crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I think by this point it's too late. And I just want to go back to a bit earlier. When I was watching this, it feels really painful because after Ichiki played here, obviously white's got the connect under and coming out. So black has no way of closing both sides at once. So at this point, I like, even if I have so many black stones, I just feel sorry for Ichiki because there's no way he can block off both sides. So Iyama decided to come in here, so he can only block off one side. So just really painful. But anyway, it wasn't to be for Ichiki. But 4-0 is a bit of a surprise. I believe it's only happened 3 times in 25 years or something like that.
Well, if we just look at Iyama's 11 Honinbo victories,
Yeah.
this is only the second time he's won 4-0. The first time was in the 72nd Honinbo 5 years ago against
Motoki.
Katsuya Motoki.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so that was a bit of a surprise, and I really
yeah, and actually, yeah, as you say, the previous time there was a 4-0 win was actually Cho Chi-hoon in
Yeah.
his 10-win streak in 1997. He beat Katol Masal.
Right. 4-0.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
it's so long ago that the Komi was 5.5 back then.
Yeah. So it's extremely rare. And definitely didn't expect it from Ichiriki. So, oh well.
Yeah.
That's one for the history books. One to
And
remember.
yeah, another thing, just another statistical thing, is that Iyama obviously has 11 straight Honinbos, and that's a record. But Cho Chi-hoon actually has in total 12 Honinbo victories. He won it twice in a row in the early 80s,
Yep.
and then his streak of 10 was in the 90s.
Yes. Yep.
So he actually Cho Chi-hoon still has the record for most Honinbo victories, but not the
Right.
longest consecutive streak.
Right. So Yama has to win at least two more to overtake Toshihun.
Yeah, he has to win two more to make 13 and set a new record.
Yep. I believe when the Honinbo first came out, it was won by someone, I forgot his name, for 9 consecutive.
Sekiyama.
Yeah, won by like 9 times consecutively, and it was only broken. And I believe that was around after the Second World War, maybe soon after or just around
Oh,
that point.
Takagawa.
Yeah.
Takagawa Kaku.
And after that, it took a long time for Cho Chi-kun to break that record. And then it took about 20 years for Yuta to break the record again. So, God knows, maybe Yama can set a new record. Let's see what happens. Yeah.
Well, set a new record for overall
Yeah.
Honinbo titles.
Yeah.
I think it's very likely. I wouldn't
Right.
say it's certain.
Yeah.
But
It might happen.
we shall see probably in a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I'm looking forward to the next one. All right. Shall we move on to the next topic, which is the YK Construction Cup?
Yes.
Yes.
YK Construction Cup, the Korean fast-paced tournament
Yep.
that is in its inaugural season.
Yeah, where Jinseo isn't doing so great.
So just a very quick reminder: 10 players.
Yeah.
In a league, single round robin. Everyone plays 9 games.
Yep.
The time controls are 10 1-minute byoyomis.
Yep.
The top 2 players in the league will play a best of 5 final.
Yep.
So the goal is to finish in the top 2.
Yep. So now, of course, this league has brought us a few big news items which we have covered before. But I guess for me, the biggest one was that the fact that Shin Jinseo, after having played 5 games, has only 3 wins. That means he's lost twice. So yeah, and the league leader is Kang Dongyun, 6 out of 6. And there's 2 games that happened during this week. It's Park Junghwan versus Seongjin. So
Actually, there were 3 games.
Oh, 3 games. Right.
Yes, I believe Park Junghwan played twice this week.
Right. Well, okay. I have to check the records. Okay, so let me see if I missed the game.
I don't think you did.
Right. Yeah. So there might be one. There might be 2 games in one day. So Park Jung-hwan beat Seongjin. Seongjin, of course, had really bad recent form. Dropped out of the Korean top 10. And so after this win, Park Jung-hwan's on 5 out of 6 to keep the pressure on Kang. The top 2 will play off for the final. And
yes,
Shin Jinseo has got a good chance of missing out at this point, right? So let's. Is there any of the games that you want to talk about in particular?
The only game that I believe the only game that I saw was the Shin Jinseo game, and that one was against if you go to the game 30.
Yeah, game 30, Shin Jinseo.
We've definitely got a pro Weiqi post about it. We don't.
But we do have the game record. Is it Kim Sedong?
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, no. We do have the pro Weiqi post. I will quickly um, share it with you since you can't seem to find it.
That's really weird. But anyway, this is the uh,
Yeah, no.
Sinjin's.
There's really nothing about the game I wanted to mention. It was a really uneventful game.
Yeah,
Um,
it was complete dominance, I believe.
it was it it went as expected. I think
Yeah,
yeah, no, the big problem was Kim Sedong had a lot of stones and had quite a few stones in the bottom right that just got completely surrounded and died.
yeah,
So Shin Jinseo had a massive territory in the bottom right, and there was really no recovery from that.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Um,
this is the they played out the Mi's flying knife here.
oh so actually, Shin Jinseo is white here, and he actually, I believe he died. He died in the bottom left, but that was
Yeah.
fine. And
Okay.
then if you just go to move like 94. Yeah, look at that. Look at the bottom right. Those black stones
Yeah,
that are surrounded by white in the
yeah,
lower right, they're
yeah,
all gone.
yeah.
That's a huge territory, and the game was basically over already at this point.
Yeah. Now, okay, if I recall correctly, the bottom left here, right? For black to kill this white group, black has to play here. No, black has to connect first.
Yes.
But if white gets to fill in a little bit on the outside, I believe it becomes Seki. Um, yeah. So yeah, I do recall. I do recall this one. So Kim Sedong play this, and then Shin Jin-seo just go like this, and Kim Sedong says, "Okay, I block," and then, yep, I'm gonna just extend outside, and Shin Jin-seo just captured everything. This
Yeah.
is just crazy, and the outside wasn't strong enough. This influence wasn't strong enough to do anything.
Yeah. There's no way black can prevent white from getting enough points in the top
Yeah.
to win. Yeah. So.
Okay, so that's the YK Construction Cup. I believe the latest game was this one though.
Yes.
Game 31. Yes.
So this is the first game of round 7.
Yep.
Park Junghwan versus Lee Jihyun. I followed this game a little bit. It was. Actually, I remember. I think you followed this game as well. It was quite dominant by Park Junghwan for the most part, who played black here.
Yeah.
And then there was one. There was a very complex position much later on in the game. I'm afraid I don't have the position in this one.
Yeah.
But do you recall this?
Yeah, I recall this one, and I just recall this being very painful for Lee. Lee, of course, is white here. No, I don't recall exactly that particular position, but yeah. But I do remember it being quite a painful game for Lee.
Yeah, if you go to maybe move 150.
150.
Yeah, there. So around here you see black's
Yeah.
stones in the middle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there may have been a way for white to kill those stones. Obviously, those 3 white stones
Yeah.
above black stones as well are also not alive.
No.
But yeah, it got quite that was quite complicated.
Yeah.
Regarding who could kill who.
Yeah. Right. And okay, so when I'm looking at this, I think if white doesn't cut, if white just capture these 2 stones now, then white can either connect back or make an eye here. Right. So if white decides to capture these 2, then this white group can stay alive, and of course then black can connect and put a lot more pressure on these white stones. So
yeah, I think the problem was that white needed to kill all those 4 stones as well, just to have enough points.
Yeah, right. And I find this interesting when black throw in, he actually White had no time to capture the stone and just. But anyway, I didn't try to analyze the position, but yeah, I think it ends up being that Lee just lost his game. Yeah, it's quite interesting. I believe this is a live. So yeah, so let's look at the league table. This is after the latest game. So, who do we have here? We still have Kang on 6 out of 6. If this is a 9-player league, so there's only 2 more games.
10 player league.
10-player league. So there's 3 more games to go. Is that right? Oh yeah.
There's 9 rounds. Yeah.
Yeah. There's 3 more games to play for Kang. He's 6 out of 6, but Kang will have to play Shin Jinseo, I believe. So Kang will have to play Kim Sedong, Lee Jihyun, and Shin Jinseo. So Shin Jinseo has a chance to catch up a little bit, but still Kang is expected to win at 71%. So Park is hot on the heels.
Win the league, that is.
Yeah, win the league. Win the league. Even Kim Young-hyun, who beat Shin Jinseo in the league, is on 6-4. I believe
4 wins. Yeah,
4 wins.
So,
I believe he lost to someone. Yeah.
He lost to Ryu.
Yeah, Ryu. Yeah.
And also, he's also played Kang Dongyun, who obviously won.
Yeah.
So actually, the thing is, Shin Jinseo's biggest hurdle to making top 2 isn't really Park Junghwan, because Shin Jinseo and Park Junghwan haven't played yet.
Yeah.
So if Shin Jinseo wins his game against Park Junghwan, they'd both be on 2 losses at that point.
Yeah.
And Shin Jinseo would be ahead on tiebreak, because the tiebreak is their head-to-head matchup.
Right.
So Shin Jinseo just needs to beat Park Junghwan and win the rest of his games, and he'll definitely finish ahead of Park Junghwan.
Right.
The problem is Kim Young-hoon, because as you said, they've already played and Kim Young-hoon beat him.
Yep.
So if Shin Jinseo and Kim Young-hoon both win the rest of their games, and they both finish on 2 losses, Kim Young-hoon will place ahead of Shin Jinseo.
Right.
On tiebreak.
Yeah.
Kang Dongyun, as you said, he hasn't played Shin Jinseo, but even if Shin Jinseo beats Kang Dongyun would only be at 1 loss.
Right.
And he's already played Park Junghwan and Kim Young-hoon, so his other 2 games are, he can definitely win. Yeah. So there's the potential that Shin Jinseo could win the rest of his games and still miss out on the top 2.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Shin Jinseo only has a 66% record, and normally his records are around 70-80. So he's a bit behind already. So
I think the two most important games left in this league are Shin Jinseo versus Park Junghwan.
Yep.
And Kim Young-hoon versus Park Junghwan.
Yeah. So let's see if Shin Jinseo will miss out on if Shin Jinseo misses out, then this is probably one of the few competitions where he just didn't really kind of win. I mean, obviously, I believe last year he did lose in 2 knockouts, but
well, this year he's already he lost in the Hanguk Kiwon Championship to Lee Dong-hoon.
Yep.
And that knocked him out of the final.
Yep.
And he also lost in the Maxim Cup.
Yep.
Park Junghwan ended up winning both of those titles. So he's already, been knocked out of 2 competitions this year.
Yep. So,
and Park Junghwan could end up winning this one in his absence as well.
Yeah. So go Park Junghwan. Yeah.
But I don't know who Shin Jinseo is due to play next. It's not Park Junghwan, so it's either going to be Kang Dongyun, or I think he hasn't played Han Woo-jin yet.
Right.
So
let me quickly check if I have that info. If not, then we'll have to call it. Okay. So this is supposedly the upcoming timetable. So let's see where Shin Jinseo is. He's scheduled to play Kang Dongyun on the 27th of June. but no schedule for Park Junghwan game.
Well, that must be the next round then. So
Yeah. So yeah.
okay.
This table doesn't look correct. Jinseo is not 5-1.
Well, there you go. There's a mistake in the table. He
this
lost
is
to Lee Jihyun. Yeah, he lost to Lee Jihyun.
in the first round. Yeah. So
Yeah.
might have to contact the person who maintains the. This is the go-to everyone kiss.
Yeah, but no, I can definitely confirm that Shin Jinseo will be playing Kang Dongyun on the 27th because that's on the KBA website.
Yeah. So that sounds about right. Okay. So we'll keep watching the Weiqi Construction Cup. I'm thinking Kim Eun-ji is not going to get a win. So let's see. Woeful.
It doesn't look likely.
No.
Has she played Lee Ji-hyun yet?
Kim Eun-ji is yet to play Jihyun, yet to play Yu, yet to play Yongseong. So
wait, she hasn't played Wonseongjin, Lee Jihyun, and who else?
Rio.
Oh, Rio.
Yeah. So that's the three she hasn't played, and let's see.
I don't think she's going to win any of them.
Yeah, no, she might be. She doesn't have the experience yet. Surprisingly, Han Mujin has actually 3 wins. So yeah, but anyway, so that's the YK Construction Cup. Yep. Shall we move on to the GX Caltex Cup?
Yeah, I think so.
GX. I mean, it's
we're into the meat and potatoes.
Yes.
Of the GS Caltex Cup, the round of 16.
Round of 16.
So all the seeds are in action.
Yep.
Before, can we go over some of the results?
You want to go over the results? This is the GX Caltex
in the round
Cup?
of 16.
Yes. So we have a round of 16. Of course, we have what's already played is An Sun-jun versus Hong Mujin. So that was won by An.
Yep, and then I think the next one was Kim Young-hoon. Is that
Kim Young-hoon versus Kang Yu-taek.
Kang Yu-taek, the legend Kang Yu-taek.
Yeah.
Kim Young-hoon won that.
Yep.
And then number 2 and number 3 in Korea were in action last week.
Yeah. So we have Park Junghwan.
Park Junghwan, yeah. Park Junghwan beat Choi Kwang-ho.
Yep.
He just because we might not ever hear from him again, just a notable mention, he turned pro at 27.
Yep.
He's actually older than Park Junghwan.
Right.
I think he turned pro in 2008.
Right.
Park Junghwan turned pro in 2018. Choi Kwang-ho turned pro in 2018. Park Junghwan turned pro in maybe 2006.
Yeah. All right, I see.
And Byun Sang-il.
Yep.
He beat the veteran Hyo Young-ho.
Yep.
So yes, the first 4 games all went the way of the seeds.
Yep.
And game number 5 was Shin Jinseo.
Yep.
Against Han Sang-hoon.
Yeah.
Who's most famous for making the final of an international major.
Yeah.
I think in his first year as a pro.
Yeah. I believe when he made the final, he was like 2 dan.
I think it was 1 dan actually.
Yeah. All right. Which is crazy. I remember him. Yeah.
And it's crazy because I mentioned this in a previous podcast, but he still hasn't actually won a tournament.
Yeah.
Like international or domestic.
Yeah.
In his career. So.
So, and of course, there's another game. Park Ha-min beat Wonseongjin. So Wonseongjin seems to be just doing really bad.
Yeah, that game was that yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yeah, yesterday, 16th, 17th.
Yes. Park Ha-min though Park Ha-min is actually now higher on the Korean rankings than Wonseongjin. Right. Wonseongjin has fallen to 14th. Park Ha-min is 12th.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting. Wonseongjin was definitely higher ranked when they started the GS Caltex Cup, but he's taken a bit of a tumble. Yeah, but so Yeah, Han Sang-hoon. Just a bit more details. Yeah, he was one Dan when he made the final of what was the LG Cup in 2008,
Yeah,
but he was a two Dan by the time he played the final,
yeah,
and he lost to Lee Sedong, and that was 14 years ago now, and he still has yet to win any title.
yeah. Which is
But
great
obviously a
actually.
very good player, top 30 in Korea still,
Yeah,
um, a nine Dan. But he definitely didn't didn't have a good game against Shin Jinseo.
no, I think we should go look at the game a little bit. Now the only thing I do remember about the game was that it was just a dominant display by Shin Jinseo, and it felt like Han had no chance. So Han is black here, and Shin Jinseo is white. I'll show you some interesting moment in the game, but it also can let me know, when the interesting moment comes. So they had this fight here. They started fighting. It just felt like Shin Jinseo just so effortlessly lived with his group, and this Atari is really interesting for me. I couldn't get a strong player to answer my question whether this is considered a normal move. But obviously, if you look at this position, you could be seeing like an Atari here. But this is rarer. And if black connects, now white can just run, and this it's so that's why this move is very interesting. So black has no choice but to play capture. Now imagine if black connect. Look, this is already a dumpling. So very early on, Shin Jin-seo's forced Han to get, he connected the ko right into dumpling shape. So and I guess what's interesting to me is that Han didn't play this didn't fight the ko this way. I guess he was thinking if white play here, he captures, white can get this one. But apparently this is still playable according to AI, so this is actually okay. But it's interesting to me that it feels like Han got intimidated by Shin Jin-seo in the game. Like you see a few instances of that. He connects, so it's like a bad shape already. And again, this the connection. Look, there might be a connection, there may not be, but it's very loose. Okay, so and Shin Jin-seo even comes out here. Like I would say that these white groups are not that strong, but he comes out here, and Han decides to fight. Ends up capturing these two stones, and try to capture this center white group, which was never going to happen. So Shin Jin-seo just played too well. So this is an interesting point in the game. So Han played a protection move. Again, this is the first sign where I think Han is kind of intimidated by Shin Jin-seo. Now, of course, in this situation, this white group is not alive. So, it's very hard for black to kill, because apparently, if black plays on the outside, white plays here, this is alive. I've analyzed this position, so white can live already. Of course, white can still push through. Black is not so thick, but it's just that it feels so weird that Han got just really intimidated and just play here a protecting move, and so keeps on playing, so play some more. And when Han played here, Shin Jin-seo just cut. Like the white group is not even alive yet, but Shin Jin-seo decides, hey, now
Yeah.
I'm gonna mess with you, and he protects. And this is very interesting. And normally you think in this shape you extend, right? But Shin Jin-seo Atari and jumps. I think he's thinking that this will allow him to jump further. And now he's created one black group and another black group. Neither is alive. So Han tries to play the shape move and now extend. And this is where I feel he got intimidated again. Like he just played here. Atari, it didn't dare do anything. Just Atari, just gave White a free move, capture, come back down here. Yeah, Atari jumps out. So yeah, so out of nothing, out of the cut, that's just one stone, he's now created 2 black groups. Neither is alive.
And White's group and White's group from that cut is completely alive now, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not gonna die. I mean, this Atari, of course, can.
Yeah, it's not in danger at all.
Yeah, it's not really in danger. It's just crazy stuff. And then White gets this Atari, and now you see there's some connection issues, even though there's so many black stones. And this move is very interesting. This next move, this one. Like White is saying, yeah, okay, well, think about your group here, and this is such a key shape. So imagine if Black played here. Now I think White can just capture this group. It's gone. This group's gone. There's no way back now for Black. So.
No, and that would just be resigned.
Yeah, this just disaster. So that's just so painful. This move for Black. So Black has no choice but to play.
And the thing is that White move, that's not its only purpose either.
Right. Also the cut doesn't exist anymore. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's so crazy. It's like this is like Shin Jinseo saying, yeah, you want to do something? Let's just, and then jumps down, and then you see he connects here. Again, I cannot see a sequence where this connection is necessary. It just feels like Han is just being intimidated.
Yeah,
he's too scared. I can't find a sequence where this cut is like this thing is necessary. And I analyze it with AI. I can't find it. So again, and this black group, White group, which is not alive, I think at this point, probably Shin Jinseo is probably thinking, yeah, I can sense that you're a bit scared, you're a bit intimidated. I'm just gonna scare you again. It's like, I'm gonna disconnect your group, and then I'm gonna disconnect you. It's like, oh, I'm so scared, I'm gonna leave. Okay, and then I'm gonna.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks painful.
Yeah, it's just so bad. Yeah, and look, after this
Atari, and now White's group at the top is completely alive.
Completely alive, and what's worse is Black has 0 eyes, like 0, even after all of this. It's just so painful to watch. I couldn't believe it. But as I said, I think the only thing I got out of it was that it does feel like Han is very intimidated, and so somehow it feels like he's also outread by Shin Jinseo as well. Like this clamp, Shin Jinseo just play here. Obviously, Shin Jinseo can't Atari, because if Atari, you still have to connect, and that's gone. This clamping stone is gone. So why clamp in the first place, right? So, but if he doesn't do anything, Shin Jinseo just plays here, you Atari, and now this 2 stones is gone because you can't escape anymore. It's gone. Right?
Yep.
So whatever this clamp is, maybe it's actually the correct move. It also feels really bad because Shin Jinseo has this counter, so one of them is gone now. So yeah. So anyway, it's not looking so good, and then here it's a complete mess as well. Like it seems like Shin Jinseo just play random stuff and just gone. Yeah, win. Nothing. It's so painful to watch.
It was painful to watch, even if you're a fan of Shin Jinseo, it was it was a bit demoralizing.
I think that's a word. That's how I feel. I just feel sorry for Han. It's just so.
I think your smoke alarm's going off after watching this game.
It's too hot, getting too hot.
Yeah.
Too much.
But another thing, just a bit of background here. Shin Jinseo has won the last 4 GS Caltex Cups.
Yeah.
And this isn't a title holder challenger tournament. To win this, you have to start from you have to start from at least the round of 16.
Right, yeah.
So you have to win 3 games and then win a best of 5 final. And he's done that 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's dominant in almost every tournament, but this one in particular seems to be one of his strongest.
Yeah.
And yeah, Han Sang-hoon just had no answer
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
And it looks like, will he be playing An Sung-joon
Yes, he will
in
be
the
playing An
quarterfinal?
Sang-joon. Yeah. In the
Yeah, An Sung-joon is a top 20 player, but I I don't I don't give him good chances. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
yeah. I think there's still players who can stop Jinseo maybe, but maybe
Oh, I mean,
tougher.
yeah, I mean Shin Min-jun, Byun Sang-il, Park Junghwan,
Yeah.
Kim Young-hun, like they're all capable of beating him.
Yeah. But
And
in,
you know he's lost to players like Yoon Jun-sang in the Maxim Cup,
yeah.
but well, no one's beaten him in the GS Caltex Cup apart from in the best of five final in the
Yeah.
last 4 years.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy.
So
I think in a best of five, it's hard to see Shin Jinseo losing because he's so dominant. Okay, I do want to say one thing. You know how I keep referencing this Chinese senior Weiqi reporter. His name's Xie Rui. He has a podcast. He was pouring cold water on Shin Jinseo continuing his dominant form. He's like, Shin Jinseo is is 22. He'll start having things in his life that will distract him. I think he's saying that maybe Shin Jinseo will start getting into relationships and things like that. So that's just a guess. So
I mean that just sounds like gossip now.
yeah, no, it's cheap. But it feels like he's desperately trying to say something. Trying to cheer up the
I mean,
Weiqi fans.
seems strange for someone who clearly doesn't know anything about Shin Jin-seo's personal life to start making random guesses, but
well, it is a podcast for a bit of color, so I think he was just
okay.
going off the tracks a little bit. It's all predictions about what's gonna happen. But anyways, that's a GX Caltex Cup. We'll continue to watch this tournament, but I think we should now return to the big one today, which is the Southwest King.
Today being Saturday, we're recording this podcast on a Saturday.
Yes, which is a bit of an innovation because this Friday somehow didn't work for some of us. So I've yet to watch the pro commentary for this, so I probably won't have very intelligent commentary for any of.
So that's all right. We want results now. What is the Southwest King?
The Southwest King is a.
It looks like a Chinese competition.
It's a domestic Chinese competition, mainly for the Southwest. Players based in the southwest of China, so that would be the provinces like your Sichuan, Xizang, and like Guizhou and things like that. So
they're not Chengdu.
Chengdu's in Sichuan, so that's so Chengdu.
Of course.
It's played in Chengdu as well. It's a fast tournament. I think they play 2 games a day, and I think
how fast? What are the time controls?
I can't remember exactly. It might be like 10 minutes or something. I have to look it up. I have to look it up now. But it's a fast time control, so they can fit in 2 games in a day.
2 games a day. So
2 games a day.
The first 2 rounds both took place today.
Yes. So that would be the round of 16 and the round of 8.
So there's 16 players.
16 players. So we can see the list of players here. So the field it's pretty strong. So we're Yang Dingxin. I believe he might be in the Chengdu team. Shi Yulai, I can't remember which team he belongs to. Maybe Chengdu, I can't remember. Liao Yunhe, I believe he might even be a Sichuan native. Liao Yunhe might be born near Chengdu or within the limits of Chengdu. Chen Zijian, I believe it's part of the Xizang team. So that would be your Tibet, Team Tibet. And then your Li Xuanhao, the hot form player in
the
hottest form. He's playing, and I believe Guling Yi might be is a Sichuan native. Guling Yi is actually the person.
Guling Yi is most definitely a Chengdu native.
Right. Yeah, and I think Guling Yi has won the most Southwest King. He's won it 4 times. So he's very good at fast time controls. I believe
sorry, my bad. Liao Wanhe, we've gone through Liao Wanhe.
Yeah.
So Liao Wanhe actually plays for Team Chengdu.
Oh, yeah, nice. Very good.
Yang Dingjing plays for Team Chongqing.
Okay, Chongqing. Yeah, well, Chongqing and Sichuan were the same province. They were both called Sichuan at some time ago, and they got separated into Chongqing and Sichuan. So before that, they were actually the same province.
Yeah, Li Juanhao also plays for Team Chongqing, so that was obviously a very strong team.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I believe Li Xuanhao is a Chongqing native, same as Guli. He's Chongqing's second ever 9-dan, I believe.
Yeah, Guli also plays for Team Chongqing.
He does play, but rarely now. His main role is coach.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but he plays a little bit, and loses. So, I mean,
speaking of which, though, Guli is playing in the Southwest King.
He is. Now, the way they've advertised it on Chinese media is that the Southwest King, apart from the players native to the southwest of China, they also invited 3 what they call world champions. So basically anyone with an international title. So Chang Hao, which is a Shanghai player, is invited. He's won obviously 3 titles, but he's not from the southwest region. So this is almost like a China-wide competition, but you only get 3 players from outside the region to get invited.
But they bring in world champions.
Yes, yes. Maybe of the past. Now, it may surprise you that Keje is here. Keje is supposedly from the Zhejiang province, which is in the east of China, but Keje is registered under the Yunnan Weiqi Sports Association or something. So he's actually part of the Yunnan team. So Yunnan, of course, is in the southwest of China.
Of course.
Yes, it's one of the. And then Keje will play Guli, and surprise, surprise, Keje won.
That's 16 world titles in one match.
Wow, yes. They have the most of any Chinese player. They're on 8 each. Of course, because it was Xu Yue play Chang Hao, Dang Yifei play Liu Yuhang.
Dang Yifei, by the way, is also plays for Team Chengdu.
Right, yes. So Chengdu, I believe they might have been regular season champions.
I believe they were. They were the regular season champions,
yes.
But they didn't make the final in the playoffs.
No, so Team Chengdu is very, very strong, very strong. So Dang
very strong.
Yeah, Liu Yuhang, it's maybe a bit of a fresh face. I believe I have captured his picture. I wouldn't recognize him on the streets, but I would the other players. But he's I think he's either Chongqing or Chengdu, one of them. He's a very, very young player, maybe born in 2000. And then we got Tang Weixing, of course. He's plays Wang Yao. I believe they even substituted a player because Wang Yao wasn't on the original list. Wang Yao, of course, is a very strong player from China, 6'10", and Wang Yao, he actually speaks English very well. And so Tu Xiaoyu, one of the promising stars.
Yeah, Tu Xiaoyu is also plays for Team Chengdu.
Yeah, right. I see. Yeah, so Chengdu is a bit stacked.
They're not. Yeah, not only that, they also had Park Junghwan on the team.
Yeah.
Well, all 4 of those players, Dang Yifei, Tu Xiaoyu, Liao Wanhe, Park Junghwan, they all got 12 or more wins. Last season. So just insane team.
Insane. And I do remember doing the stats on Liao Yuanhe. He's one of the, for a long time, Liao Yuanhe was one of the best performing players in the JA League. Like his number of wins versus the number of wins that he's expected, given his opponent's strength, is actually was once ranked in the top 10, if not in the top 10, was in the top 10. And of course, you got Tu Xiao, you play Mi Yuting. Mi Yuting, of course. Mi Yuting is from Jiangsu, so he might be one of the invited players. I can't remember.
He is, of course, a world champion.
Yes, twice.
In fact, he's a reigning world champion.
Yes, Emily Cup over Shaker.
Yeah.
So let's go through the results. The first one, Yang Dingxin beat Xu Yulai. That's not really a surprise. Xu Yulai isn't really that notable. He's a JA League player, but he hasn't got that many notable results. I'll quickly check if I have his age. Xu Yulai. He might be a very young player. No, he's not even. He hasn't even played enough game to end up on the list. So yeah.
He actually only played 3 games in the last JA League for Team Shenzhen. He only played 3 games.
Right. So he might be a very, very young player. So Yang Dingshin beat him. This is a little bit of a surprise. Chen Zijian beat Liao Yunhe.
Yeah, that's a surprise.
A little bit of a surprise. And then Chen Zijian played Yang Dingshin next. And Yang Dingshin beat Chen. I did go through the Kifu. The Kifu does feel a little bit like, the one that Jinseo versus Han. A little bit like that, but not as bad. But it feels like it's really painful to play Yang. He doesn't knock you over, but he'll just nibble at your territory while remaining thick, and so you have nothing to attack. So it's really annoying. I feel sorry for Chen playing Yang. That's how I feel like when I went to the Kifu. And okay, Li Xuanhao beat Gu Lingyi. That's not a surprise because Gu Lingyi might be maybe in the 30s now.
He's getting a bit in age, yes.
Yes, so I think once you get past 30, it's hard to compete at this level. It seems like. I don't
even think he played in Jar League last year.
No, he may not make it anymore. But anyway, so Li Xuanhao beat him, which is not a surprise. Kerje beat Guli, and the clash of the round of the day.
Yeah, this one was hugely anticipated. Yeah. Li Xuanhao, the most informed Chinese player, versus Kerje, the number 1 ranked Chinese player.
But this time, Kerje came out on top. We might have a quick look at the Kifu a bit later.
Let's look at it now.
Let's look at the Kifu. Let's see if the Kifu is online. If it's not, it's online now. Let's have a look at it.
All right.
I'm going to load up the Kifu, and let's have a quick look. And okay, while we're looking at the Kifu, while I load up the Kifu, these are the rest of the results.
Yeah. Okay. So Shi Wei and Chang Hao, that's like a veterans matchup.
Well, veteran versus a current, still active player.
Yeah, but Shi Wei won the LG Cup. How long ago?
Maybe a few years.
Obviously Shi Wei's still good because
he still made the recent LG Cup. Yes, so it's quite.
He made the last LG Cup. Yeah,
still very strong. Of course, we got Dang, Liu Yuhang. This is a surprise because Liu Yuhang is rated a lot more lower than Dang, but he beat Dang, and he also beat Xu Yue. So Liu might be a rising player in China.
Yeah, notable is that Dang actually turned 28 yesterday.
Oh wow, yeah.
I believe, yes.
And he's still doing his university exam. So of course we got Tang Weixing beating Wang Yao. Tu Xiaoyu got beaten by Muting. And then in another perhaps a surprise of the round, Tang overcame Mi. I believe that's a big reversal. So let's quickly look at the Kerje game. That's assuming
Li Xuanhao Kerje. This is Li Xuanhao's first loss in quite a while.
Yeah. Wow. Yes. So this Kerje is white, Li Xuanhao is black. So Kerje does start with a little bit of an advantage.
This is of course in Chinese rules, 7.5 Komi.
And I believe for pro players nowadays, even without that, it's pro seems to prefer white now because it's after the AI you could prepare more because white is in response to black maybe. So that's how I feel. Okay, so this is normal-ish, even though in the past, kind of this attachment is more normal in this. We play here, jump out. Now, so Li Xuanhao is the one initiating an attack on white, right? But you see what happens. And so this here, so Kerje jumps out. Li Xuanhao says, "I'm gonna connect under," but it looks like it's just connecting under, but he's actually just making this group stronger in preparation for something. Okay, which is the cut. Damn. And so all along it's black initiated this fight. Yeah, just keep that in mind. So Kerje comes out here. This is a fast time control, but the corner is becoming very complicated. Because when white push here, this double Hane works, so black can't come out. So it's a capturing race between this group and the black group, right? So I don't think, I think even if you're pro, unless you've prepared it beforehand, I really don't think in that ton of short time control, you can read this out in whatever time you need. So Lee Shenhao made a fatal mistake, according to AI anyway. He played here. Now supposedly the correct move is here. That's already good enough to capture. And here Kerja just play a beautiful sacrifice. Now I haven't watched any of the pro commentary, so I don't know what the ins and out of this variation is, but I can show you the results. Right, so Kerja played here. Lee Shenhao, decides that he has to tighten the liberties, otherwise he's not going to make it. So Kerja cut. Lee Shenhao has to run. Kerja just play here. Look, just terrible for black. Completely sealed in. He's only faster than white by 1 liberty. So black has 1, 2, 3. White has 1, 2, 3. It's only faster by 1. So,
but don't you only need to be faster by 1?
Well, you do, but what that means is every move that white makes is now
is a forcing move. Yeah.
So white will get this massive wall here, just by sacrificing this tiny little corner, and
that's brilliant.
Yeah, and white still has his Hane down, right? That's Hane, and then Atari. So it's so white's definitely a lot better. And I don't know if this is part of Kerja's research, or he just played here, or whatever the case may be. Lee Shenhao is completely stuffed at this point. So has to play, and I think Lee Shenhao never recovered from that. It was just too. After that, Lee Shenhao was trying really hard, but he tried really hard to kind of neutralize the influence here. But black isn't alive. Black played all of these moves, giving white all of this territory, but it's facing a really strong white group. So it's it just doesn't really happen for Lee Shenhao. I think he tried really hard. He ran out of this group, but it wasn't.
Yeah, this is the Koji that we've been looking for a while now.
Yeah, I mean it's just one game, so but it's a bit of a letdown for me. I would expecting a much tougher fight. So at this point, Lee Shenhao resigned, but after capturing this corner, Lee Shenhao's got one corner.
And that top left corner, it really isn't that big.
It's like that's 10 points. There's still a push here, so there's just under 10 points.
Yeah, I mean for a capture points of that size, you would expect a bigger corner. It's certainly white more than made up for that. That the loss of those stones.
Yeah, because what white ended up forcing black to do is just to run this whole thing, all of these moves to neutralize this, but black didn't earn too much from this, and I think even this thing is probably more than big enough than what black can make in the middle.
Oh no, it's far more.
Yeah. So black wasn't gonna come back from that one. So I need to watch the commentary, and also maybe I need to see Kerja's interview to see if this is actually part of Kerja's preparation and just Lee Shenhao just got into a trap, but that might just have been what's actually happened, because it's it's not good.
It's a bit of a surprising how that game played out. Wouldn't have expected Lee Junghwan to end up in that sort of position so early in the game, but Koji is that type of player. He can make anyone look bad, even Shin Jinseo. When Koji is at his best.
So hopefully we'll see the return of the best of Koji. So that's actually what happened. Now,
so most importantly, when are the semi-finals and the final?
That will be tomorrow, which is Sunday.
Can't wait.
I can't wait. I mean, the bigger semi-final, of course, is Yang Dingxin versus Koji. I'm surprised, but also not surprised that Koji has a fairly dominant record over Yang. It's a 4-8 head-to-head. Yang winning only 4 out of 12 games. But Tang Weixing is again the surprise package. He always seems to, in knockout, seems to come out of nowhere and just make the final. He's done that quite a few times. So, and Tang Weixing's rating, of course, has been going down, 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 and down. And I have a theory. Why Tang Weixing did really well in this tournament. And the theory is, in one of Tang Weixing's posts, which I'm desperately trying to look for.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so Tang Weixing was posting on Chinese social media, and he was like, "Oh, the food in the training camp is great." He even took a picture of this. Now this is meant to be a luxurious dish. This it's called Buddha jumping over the wall, so it's meant to be a luxurious dish. It might, I don't know what's in it. Might be some seafood and whatever. And he was just saying, "Oh, the food is really good." Maybe dragon fruit is very expensive in China. I don't know. He's just showing off a whole plate of dragon fruit that he took for himself. Yeah, so maybe the food was so good. Of course, Chengdu is famed for its food. So it's maybe because of the good food that Tang Weixin's been able to, perform at his best, or even beyond his best.
But doesn't everyone get this food?
Well, maybe he eats more. God knows.
Maybe they're not all at the training camp.
I think Kerje and Deng Yifei are not there because they have to prep for their
I actually saw a picture
university
of
camp.
Deng Yifei at the training camp, though.
Hey, did you? Maybe he came back after a while. I'm not sure.
But who were Tang Weixing's opponents? In can you go back to the tree?
The tree.
Who were Tang Weixing's opponents?
Mi Yuting, I believe one of them was. So
he would have been at the training camp.
Yeah. So Tang Weixing.
Wang Yao, maybe he wasn't at the training camp.
I know. I don't think he's part of the national team anymore. He's like a blast from the past. So Tang Weixing almost lost to Wang. He definitely almost lost to me, but somehow miraculously he had 2 big reversals to make it to the semifinals. So he might make it to the final as well, and maybe he'll face off with Kerje in the final. And Kerje might be thinking, I need to, revenge my Chunlan Cup loss to Tang. God knows.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I do have a little bit more information. I have found the time controls, I believe.
Yeah.
For the Southwest King.
Yeah.
And according to my research, it's the same time controls as the Globus Cup.
Oh, okay. So that would
be 30 seconds and 30 seconds per move with 10 1-minute Byoyomi. Byoyomis.
Yeah. So that's pretty fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Koje has won it before. The Southwest King.
Yeah.
Yang Dingjing has won it before. Tang Weixing has also won it before.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So 3 former champions.
Yeah.
In the semi-finals.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I do want to go through one other thing though after going through this Southwest King, and that is the Aizu Central Hospital Cup final. We're
segueing to a Japanese women's domestic tournament.
Yes.
The Aizu Central Hospital Cup. So this was a women's. This is a women's tournament. It's a title holder challenger system tournament. Who is the current title holder of the Aizu Central Hospital Cup?
I believe it's Fujisawa Rina.
Fujisawa Rina.
Yeah.
And then there was a knockout.
Yep.
That took place in April and May to determine the challenger, and the challenger is Ueno Asami.
So this is, I believe, this is the knockout table. So
Yes.
Ueno Asami, I believe we knocked out Takao Mari and Kibi Natsuki
Inatsuke.
and Okuda Aya to come
Mm-hmm.
out on top.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is Sumire in this tournament? No.
Sumire was knocked out by. Oh, where is she?
She might be knocked out earlier on.
She was knocked out by Nakazawa Ayako in her first game.
Right. So she didn't make
Which
it.
she got a bye to the second round of the qualifiers. There were 4 rounds of qualifiers, but she got knocked out in the second round.
Yep.
So, and that was in January. So, yeah, Sumire lost early. Ji Min also got knocked out early. Who did she lose to? She lost to Ueno Asami's sister, Ueno Risa.
Oh, right. Okay. Yep.
In the third round of the qualifiers. So that's why neither Jimin nor Nakamura Sumire were in the main tournament.
Yep.
Okay. But the final is a best of 3.
Yep.
And the first game was today.
Yeah, it was today, and this is the game. So black is Fujisawa Rina, and white is Sano Asami. I haven't really watched this game except that I knew that Ueno Asami won, and so of course this would be considered the top 2 players in Japan, and they are
Top 2 women players in Japan.
Yeah,
sure.
women players in Japan, and it was they are. I mean, it's kind of fitting that the finals between them.
Yep.
It's a best of 3.
I did follow this game a little bit. Unfortunately, I'm a Q player, so I can't give too many details. But what I will say is that the AI had the game in terms of score.
Yeah.
The game was very close for the entire game. It was probably within 5 points the whole game. There were no big group deaths, or anything like that. So it was very much a precise territory fight.
Right.
The other thing that I want to mention is that it's a 3-hour game.
Right.
3 hours each with 5 1-minute Byoyomis.
Yep.
Fujisawa Arena actually got down to Byoyomis a lot earlier than Asami. I think that Asami still had maybe an hour of time left by the time Fujisawa Arena got to her Byoyomis. So, just very good time management by Asami. And the game was basically 50-50 right up until the last 10 moves.
Oh wow!
So
was there a mistake or something?
Yeah, there was.
Oh, I
think it was move 209.
Right, this is a remarkable move by Ueno Asami, just playing here.
Yes, that's a great Tsuji, yeah. So, and apparently the correct reply here was at
Atari.
No, to connect, to protect the cut.
Connect here.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, because okay, so this is a notable Tsuji. I need to study this. So we played here. So this comes out.
Yeah.
I guess the next move can capture these stones. So black, tries to connect, which allowed this to tighten the liberties. So he connects. Atari. Ooh, another Tsuji.
Yeah, that move just before move. Yeah, AI says this doesn't work, but black needs to play it. Black needs to play it because otherwise black doesn't have enough points, right?
Right.
Black can't lose those 2 stones.
Right. So another Tsuji, gone. Atari, and then
Yeah.
So yeah,
How
quarters
crazy? How
one.
crazy is that?
That's a crazy come from this Tetsuji. Maybe
Yeah.
Ueno Asami. I think it's just like maybe like a time thing. He just timed it perfectly.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. This is a really impressive move.
yeah.
I I I'm glad you had the time to look at it a little bit because I don't understand it. But
Right,
AI says AI loves this move.
right. Shit.
Um, yeah, and yeah, just a really good move. But up until then, it was very close.
All right, I see. Wow,
Um,
this is remarkable. Yes.
yes,
All right, so that's
but I think that was a bit of. I think that's a little bit of a surprise. Um, Asami has had a great year. She won the Senko Cup, of course.
yeah,
But Fujisawa Rina still seems to be the queen when it comes to Japanese domestic titles.
right.
And yeah, so for Asami to win this,
Yeah,
um, yeah, very impressive. And she's now only one game away from winning the Aizu Central Hospital Cup.
yeah,
I'll just check to see if she's ever won it. I don't think she has.
right,
I'm just quickly checking. No, Fujisawa Rina has actually won the last five
right.
um, Aizu Central Hospital Cups. Um, Asami, this is her third time challenging for it, and the other two times she lost 2-0 to Fujisawa
Yeah,
in the final. So, yeah, she's already done better than her other challenges. And this could be her first Aizu Central Hospital Cup. The next game two, will be on Monday.
yeah,
And then game three, if Fujisawa has to win that for there to be a game three, which will take place on Friday.
yeah,
So we'll be able to tell you definitely by the next podcast who the ninth Aizu Central Hospital Cup champion is.
yeah. That will be really interesting to watch. So yeah, hopefully next time we can discuss more of the what's happening in the cup. And Gaza, this is all the things I wanted to cover.
There's one more thing that I just want to quickly mention.
Yep.
It's back in Korea.
Yeah.
Another one of the majors. I know we've covered the Weiqi Construction Cup. We've covered the GS Caltex Cup. One other tournament that's happening at the moment that's in the very late stages is the Yongseong.
Yep.
It's a fast tournament, 20 minutes with 20-second Fisher increment. There was one game during the week, the first semi-final.
Yep.
Between Mujin and Kang Dongyun.
Yep.
Mujin was actually I believe he was in the semi-final last year as well.
Mujin, let me check. Fourth one, Mujin. Yes, he was.
Yes.
Yep.
That's where I first heard of Mujin.
Yep.
He's actually in the top 25 in Korea now.
Yep.
But Kang Dongyun, one of the form players in Korea this year,
yep,
won the semi-final. So Kang Dongyun will be playing in his second Yongseong final.
Oh wow!
I believe.
Yep.
He was in the very first Yongseong.
Yep.
Where he lost to Kim Ji-sok 2-1.
Yep.
But now 4 years later, he's back in the final again.
Yep.
And this week we have a hugely anticipated game. I think it's on Thursday.
Yep.
Kim Young-hun versus Shin Jinseo, the second semi-final for the Yongseong.
Yep.
And this is notable because Kim Young-hun is one of the players that beat Shin Jinseo in the Weiqi Construction Cup.
Yep. Yes, of course. Yep.
So Shin Jinseo is definitely looking to get revenge.
Yep.
And yeah, very keen.
Yep.
This game could definitely go either way.
Yep. And yeah, I don't know. I thought Yongseong is usually not a live one. It's pre-recorded, but I'm not 100% sure.
That's actually I believe that's the KBS Cup that you may be thinking about.
Right. No, I think Yongseong, they have the equivalent in Japan and China, and I believe both of them are pre-recorded. It's like a productionized TV
Yeah,
show.
I can definitely say that this one last year was not pre-recorded.
Right. Okay. I see. Yep. So they will play, and one of so Kim. It seems to be a really informed player. His name popping up is popping up everywhere.
Yeah, he's in the LG Cup quarterfinals.
Yep. Yep. And of course Jinseo is also obviously very dominant. So yeah, it'll be interesting to watch. Now let's go over the calendar for the next week. Of course we have the Southwest King happening tomorrow, right? And also next week there will be a Weiqi Construction Cup at least one. One Seongjin, Han Mujin, another one, and I believe the Shin Han.
Oh, this is the one I'm looking forward to. There's an international coming up this week.
Yeah.
The International Senior Baduk Championships.
Yeah. And
I believe that the legend himself, Choi Hyun will be playing in this.
Oh, really?
Sorry, I apologize. Cho Hyun.
Yeah, Cho Hyun.
The very first in Cup winner. I believe he holds the record for most professional career wins and most professional titles.
Yes. Yes. So absolute legend. I'm looking forward to it if he does play. But I do believe Lee Chang-ho and Chang Hao are both playing.
That of course, yeah, that should be mentioned as well. Lee Chang-ho and Chang Hao will both be playing in their very first senior Baduk Championships.
Yeah. So that would be very, very interesting.
Yes.
And so that's the Seniors Cup. Of course, there's another GX Caltex Cup, Park Jinseo versus Shin Min-jun.
Mm-hmm.
And Gosei Game 1 between, you guessed it, I think it's Ichiriki versus Iyama.
It's Ichiriki versus Iyama. This is the third time a Japanese major this year will be Iyama versus Ichiriki. And currently they're one apiece in wins.
Yeah.
But this one's different. These are one-day games and it's a best of 5.
Yes. I believe the time control might be 5 hours each. I think something like that. So it will be finished.
It's actually only 3 hours each.
Oh, okay, so Gosei it's only 3 hours. That's okay, cool. That'll be interesting. So Gosei another title match, and I guess not happening exactly next week, but as you can see here, the North America Go Federation Pro Qualification Tournament soon is going to come up soon.
We should put the Aizu Central Hospital Cup in this calendar.
Yeah. We'll do that. I can't.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
By the time you watch this podcast, it will be there.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this is a wrap for me. Gaza,
I just want to mention one more thing.
Yeah.
Can you go back to the subreddit?
Yeah. Just Pro Weiqi in general.
Pro Weiqi.
Yeah. Oh, shall we look over the picks for the Southwest King?
Let's do that.
I think we should. Okay. Okay, so that's just some grainy stuff.
These picks are too small.
Yeah, let's see if we can skip to the big ones. Now, when these pictures are posted, they are posted.
They're all small. Go to the next lot of pics.
Yeah, that's disappointing. Okay, so that's Kerje and Lee Xuanhao. They always have a lady there recording the key food. I believe it happened last year as well in Southwest King. So I think.
But what were you saying about the pictures? You're about to say something.
No, I was just going to say that these are the pictures. That's Chen Zijian. I wouldn't be able to recognize him. I probably can recognize Yang Dingxin on the streets. Very casual clothing.
Xue.
Liu Yuhang. Might be up and coming player. Xue, Liu Yuhang. Mi Yuting, of course.
Yes.
Tang Weixin. That's of course the way they played. I believe Chengdu is a very beautiful city, so might have to check it out sometime. And I think the competition is sponsored by, I believe, Sichuan Airlines. So that's it. That's all the picks that we have. Very good.
Now, if you go to the top of the subreddit,
Yeah.
we've crossed 800 members.
Oh, 800. Oh, 818 as well. Auspicious. That's crazy, huh?
It's a big milestone.
Big milestone. Yeah. That's yeah. It'll probably go to 1,000 soon. And, God knows where it's gonna head.
There's one other thing I want to ask about the life and death the national team, the Chinese national team training.
Yeah.
You posted some life and death. Yeah, these.
Yeah, these. No idea. Oh,
No, go
this
back
one.
to the first one.
Yeah.
That is Deng Yifei, right?
Oh, that is Deng Yifei. Yes.
Yes.
He did. I think. See, I don't trust the reports, but
Is that Wang Jinghao?
that's Wang Xinghao. That's Wang Xinghao.
It's nice of him to let others work on the problems first before he tells them the answer.
I think someone did question what's the point of having 3 people play in the same.
Yeah, someone did ask that.
Yeah. I am also not sure, but maybe they just. But I think I do remember maybe one group didn't even put the thing on the stone yet. This group they just I couldn't be bothered putting the stone on. They just.
But I always thought that it's better to not. I guess you can put it on the board, but you shouldn't play it out, right?
No.
Until you know the answer.
Yeah, you're meant to play it out in your head before you play.
Yeah, because in a game, that's what you'd have to do.
Yeah, and you can see Kerje does do life and death problems on live stream, and it's quite funny.
It's quite funny because he swears when he gets it wrong, right?
Yeah, and he starts criticizing the person who came up with the
criticizes the person who set the problem because he'd never see that in a game, right?
Yeah, he'd be like, "Oh no, you never play like this in a game. This will never happen in a real game. This is a problem for the sake of being a problem," something like that.
That, by the way, that's Li Ching that's leaning over there.
Yeah, Li Ching. Yeah, maybe I don't know what's happened. That's Lu Mingquan, of course. I believe it's Zhao Chenyu, and I believe 3 of the Chinese players had their birthday during the training camp. Now, okay.
Well, actually, yeah, their birthday's not on the same day. It's
right.
They all have birthdays in June.
Right, not on the same day. Now this is the Chinese team. They have been in intense training camps in April, May, and June. Now this is very suspicious for me. So why like remember these training camps are not in Beijing or Hangzhou where these players are normally based. It's in Chuzhou, which I guess is not that far from Hangzhou, but this one is in Chengdu, so it's miles away from Hangzhou and Beijing. So why are they so intense? Like, why do you want your players to be away from home for like 20 days for each of the 3 months? Maybe.
So what are you insinuating?
I'm thinking that maybe some big competitions are coming up, so they wanted to get ready for those. Because obviously, because of the COVID situation, China hasn't had their normal schedule go as planned. So meaning games that are like the In Cup final hasn't happened, Emily Cup hasn't happened, Tianfu Cup hasn't happened, potentially Bailing Cup hasn't happened.
Chujo
Lanka Cup didn't happen.
The international version.
The Jar League didn't happen. So a lot of games didn't happen. A lot of these are international.
Jar League, yeah.
So a lot of these games are like international competitions as well. The Emily Lee and Lanka Cup. And I heard in the podcast that the podcast person, of course, is the person I often quote, Xie Rui, one of the most senior Weiqi reporters in China. He mentioned that these competitions are about to come. So God knows what about to come means. But
the problem
that could be.
The problem. The one question I do have is if M Lily Tianfu Lanka International Cup.
Yeah.
Like. You can say they're coming, but they can't be coming in July or end of June because, like, you need to notify the other. They're international tournaments. You need to notify the Japanese, federation, the Korean Kiwon, because they need to select players.
Yes, exactly.
They would need to have qualifiers and things like that. I know the Korean Kiwon can rearrange their schedule for anything seemingly, but you still actually have to have set time to have qualifying games.
Yeah, so I mean that's but you never know. Maybe they've gone in with an approach where they're not going to have qualifiers. They're going to go direct invitational for one edition. Do you get what I mean? So they go.
I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I know that usually qualifiers don't win the tournaments. The direct seeds almost always win the tournaments.
Yeah,
because
there are exceptions. Yeah, there are exceptions. Yeah,
but to not. But I already don't like the. I'm already mentioned before that the LG Cup currently, in its current COVID format, has completely sort of frozen out North American and European players. Like they don't have the opportunity to qualify at the moment.
Yeah.
And even though they're not going to win, I don't think that's a good thing, because the best way for players from North America, from Europe to get better is to play pros from the Asian regions.
Yeah.
And you have those qualifiers to give them the opportunity to play those pros. And similarly, if you only give direct seeds, players like Park Jinseo, Park Hamin, Park Yunho from Korea, they're not going to be able to have games against Koje and Miyuting and those other players. And even though they may lose those games anyway, you still want them to have the opportunity to play those players.
Yeah, 100%.
But I understand that for one edition it may be forced, but I still don't think it's a great idea.
Yeah. It's a difficult one, because I mean it's see what happens. I mean, I do want to see them play, but I guess if you had to choose between two evils, I'd rather that the tournament actually take place. But okay, just one last thing to close off. This is the year 2022, and they want to start the 2021 Yi League and the Women's Yi League in China. So Yi, of course, it's Chinese, meaning usually to mean the second division. So that's so the second division obviously didn't play last year. Only the Jia League happened, and they want to play the 2021 edition of that in 2022. That's a little bit of an innovation, but I'm glad that it's happening.
It's obviously very funny, but if that means that there'll also be a 2022 edition in 2022, in other words, they'll have 2 seasons of Yi League and Women's League, I'm not complaining.
I highly doubt it. I think they just played the 2021 version, and whatever next comes up, 2023, just skip 1 year.
But why not just skip 2021 then?
No, because you need continuity. The teams got promoted, demoted. They're all in the same thing. You can't not figure out who gets promoted to Jia League before you start the Jia League.
Oh my God, that's right. So they have to play the entire Yi League before they play the Jia League.
Well, you've unless they want to scrap the promotion and relegation.
I would just scrap it. I would just scrap it. Have the Jia League now. Well, have the Yi League at the same time, and then you can do the promotions next year.
Maybe, but if you do remember, they did play in the playoffs. The Jia
they did have the relegation playoffs. Well,
that would be the funny thing. It's like, what did I do all that for?
You see it in reality TV shows all the time. Like they'll say they eliminate one person a week.
Yeah.
In some reality TV show, and then 1 week they'll have the elimination round, and then at the end someone loses, and then they'll say, "Oh, by the way, we're not eliminating anyone this week."
Oh, okay. Well,
I think I've seen it on MasterChef or something.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's.
So you can just do that. You can just go, just just Fulger, you
just
get a second chance. Give him a second chance.
Just wing it. Yeah. So I really don't know, but these things just seem to pop up out of nowhere. Like there's no media conference, no nothing. You just get like a random post in a Chinese website, and that's it. So yeah, I do hope they get back and organized. But I do now, even if the second division of the Weiqi League are happening, the third division hasn't happened yet. Right, so
Bing League.
Yeah, Bing League. Nobody knows what's happening there. It's not anywhere to be found. So let's see.
That's a shame.
Let's see what actually happens. All right. I think that's really is a wrap, Gaza. And,
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thanks, Gaza, for the chat, and we'll see you next week. All right.
All right.
Talk to you later. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.